What is going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing very well. As you can tell by the title of this video, we are going to talk about whether it is worth it to put the money into your 3.7 liter V6 Mustang or just flat out get the 5.0. Everyone online is always saying, oh, with the money you put into that V6, you could have got a V8. But is that actually true? Well, today we're going to find out if that's true. I take a look at the cost analysis of modding your 3.7 liter Mustang and comparing it to that of a stock 5.0. We're also going to be talking about the different mods that are needed to kind of bolster your 3.7, the power potential for these mods, and realistic outcomes. So without further ado, let's begin. Real quick though, I do want to quickly shout out my socials, my Instagram and TikTok. So if you would follow me there, that would be greatly appreciated. Link for those are in the description below, as well as the 3.7 liter Mustang Facebook page. A lot of people in there gave me their numbers and kind of cost breakdowns for those. Special shout out to Ruben Paisano, Jay Samuel, Walter Grimes, and Nathan O from Poland. They all gave me a couple of their dyno horsepower numbers along with some price estimates for their build. So again, shout out to those guys, and they're all in the 3.7 liter Mustang groups. This video, I will be focusing only on the 2011 through 2017 3.7 liter Mustangs because, well, that's the only time they came out. And I will be focusing only on the 2011 through 2017 5.0 Mustangs because I think I want an apples to apples kind of comparison, and it makes sense to go with that. A quick disclaimer though, if you want to make the most amount of horsepower as possible and go as fast as you can, there is no argument, just go with the Coyote. It has a higher ceiling, that's obvious, and the engine itself can hold a decent amount of horsepower as well. It will be more expensive, but if that is your goal, go with that. All right, let's first talk about the base prices for the car themselves before we start getting into any specifics with power and mods and stuff like that. So all of my data came from cars.com. For me personally, that was just the easiest way to make this video and get all the information that I needed. But of course, shop around. Car buying is a bitch. It's all about the deals. So yes, whatever I say in this video, there could be different, you know. There could be cheaper GTs, or there could be cheaper V6 Mustangs, and you know, you can get parts already done. You know, your GT could be already modded, your V6 could be all modded, whatever. This is as if you are starting from scratch, stock for stock. This is what this comparison video is going to be. I found a 2012 GT Premium with 85,000 miles for $15,995. Comparing that to a 2012 V6 Premium that I found with 77,000 miles, that was going for $10,600. The second GT I found was a 2013 GT Premium that had 95,000 miles, was going for $18,600. Comparatively, I found a 2014 V6 that had 89,000 miles for $9,996. I also found a 2015 GT Premium with 45,000 miles going for $28,995. And comparatively, I found a 2015 V6 with 76,000 miles for $19,595. And then lastly, I found a 2017 GT Premium with 77,000 miles going for $24,600 versus a 2017 V6 Mustang that had 72,000 miles going for $14,990. So all of those are roughly a price difference of $10,000-ish. So that being said, let's talk about the base performance of both the 5.0 of the respective years and the 3.7 liter Mustang of the respective years. 2011 through 2014 5.0 Mustangs had a base horsepower of 420 horsepower found at the crank. From YouTube videos online of stock GT wheel horsepower numbers, I was finding about 341 to 387 wheel horsepower stock. 2015 through 2017 GTs bumped it up a little bit to 435 horsepower at the crank with about 384 wheel horsepower, or maybe just a little bit above a 2011 through 2014. So give or take a little bit of that. Once modded, a 2011 through 2014 full bolt-on E85 5.0 was making about 438 wheel horsepower. Again, these are all from YouTube videos you can search for. Full bolt-on E85 2015 through 2017 GTs were making 442 to 453 wheel horsepower, which are respectable numbers, not too bad, but it's also very pricey. The 2011 through 2014 V6 Mustang came stock with 305 horsepower at the crank, which dynos about 250 to 260 wheel horsepower. The 2015 through 2017 V6 Mustangs came with 300 horsepower and would put down about the same wheel horsepower for that. Now the question is, with about $8,000 to $10,000 price difference between the GTs and the V6s, can the V6 match or beat the potential of a stock GT, or maybe even perhaps a full bolt-on E85 Gen 1 or Gen 2 Coyote? Let's talk about the mods needed to get to that performance of a GT, a stock GT, or even a full bolt-on E85 GT. So what you're going to need is a tune, a one-piece aluminum drive shaft, and of course some sort of way to boost the car, whether it be turbo or adding a pro charger, a centrifugal supercharger. The tune and the drive shaft are about $1,000 to $1,200, give or take. So with the difference between a GT and a V6, we're at 10,000-ish. Subtract out the 1,200, you're now left at 8,800. With that money, turbo is generally cheaper, however, is a little bit more upkeep and might be prone to a little bit more couple issues. Some turbo guys have said they've had no issues with it. For me, I went with a pro charger, and through a Black Friday deal from Lethal Performance, I got mine for $6,500, which falls nicely in that window of budgeted money that we still have left over. With the mods I have now and a pro charger with the stock pulley on 93, I could be making about 380 horsepower, which is a little bit more, if not equal to that of a Gen 1 Coyote and a Gen 2 Coyote base, like stock. If I were to pulley down one step, I could be making about 450 wheel horsepower. That number comes from Nathan O from Poland, again from the 3.7 liter Facebook page. If I want to go even crazier and go E85, Ruben Pisano was pushing about 575 horsepower. Again, there are some added mods such as headers and full exhaust and maybe even some ported intakes and stuff like that. Just for adding boost to the car, a good tune, a one-piece drive shaft, and maybe some headers, you could be pushing more wheel horsepower than that of a GT. Not only that, Walter Grimes as well said that he was pulling with a turbo V6 Mustang. He was trapping at 10.2 in the quarter mile, and with the car and everything modded at the time, he was about 15K in, which is cheap, which is, I mean, that's less than every GT that's on here, right? That's crazy that you can do all that stuff with. J. Samuel with a pro charger, nitrous, methanol, and E85, which is all goes for about 12 to 15 grand. On top of the V6 Mustang, but then you're putting in, he was pulling 660 wheel horsepower with all of that, which is like boosted Coyotes, like stock pro charger boosted Coyote kind of level. Absolutely incredible work from all of these guys, and it just kind of shows that you don't need to get the GT to have a fast car and to compete with the V8s and even save a little bit on some cash. So with that being said, final thoughts. If you're again, if your final goal is to make as much power as possible, go with the GT, no question. But if you want something unique, easy on the budget, and also fast, and that can beat up on some V8s, again, stock Coyotes, you can compete with stock Coyote with just a Pro Charger tune, which is nuts. And you know, you pulley down, you beat a stock Gen 1, even in a stock Gen 2. And you can also even beat the full bolt-on E85 Gen 1, and either beat or compete with a Gen 2 Coyote, which full bolt-on E85, which is nuts. I hope that gives you an idea of what is possible with the 3.7 platform, and why putting money into modding a V6 Mustang, specifically the 3.7 liter engine, is actually worth it. If you do have a setup like any of this, please feel free to drop it in the comments below. Talk about either your price, your horsepower numbers, any of that, supporting mods. Feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm sure people would like to know. I would like to know. And I hope it kind of gives you some idea of what to do with your guys' cars in the future. And I know that this research specifically has really made me excited for my Pro Charger. So again, if you guys enjoyed, hit that like button. If you really enjoyed the content and own a 3.7 liter Mustang, hit that subscribe button. The goal was 300 by the end of the year, and we're already at, right now of recording, 298. I think we can beat that. So again, thank you all so much for watching, and catch you next one. Deuces.